Hi, this is Chris. I'm chanson2794 on BoardGameGeek, and I'm going to show you how to enter your game design contest entry into the GDCR. So in this example, we're going to be entering a game into the 2019 9-card print and play contest. This will be the same process for any contest that uses the Game Design Contest Resource, or GDCR for short. So the reason we want to do this, we've already created in this example our game thread with links to the files and posted it to the contest thread. But the GDCR is a tool that aggregates all the entries. It creates the entry list. It's where we vote on the entries. We can log our plays for the games we played in the contest. So we need to enter our game both on the BoardGameGeek contest thread and in GDCR as well. I'm going to scroll down here to past the rules, and we get to this entries list. This is an automatically generated post that comes out of data from the GDCR. So to get on this official entry list, we do need to create our game on that site. So I'm going to come over to the GDCR tab. I've already signed in. I've created a demo user. And we don't have very much info here yet, but we do have this link for all of the submitted games we have. We don't have any games submitted right now, but we're going to add our first one. So I'll click on Add a Game. And because this is my first time doing this, I have not created a GDCR person account, which would be for anyone who's a designer or an artist of a game. So to add a game, I do need to create this. Once you do it, you don't ever need to do it again, but I'll create that person account. Change this to demo user. So this will be my display name. So this entry list that I showed you here, if we scroll down a little bit, we can see these names here are the names that are entered into the GDCR. So this is what people have typed in for their person account, and this will display whenever people enter their game, and anywhere that it posts on BoardGameGeek, that'll be the name that gets used. If you have a designer or artist account, you can add that link as well. So for Scott's case here, he would copy this number and enter it in as his BGG designer or artist ID. We won't do that right now. The GDCR demo user doesn't have an artist or demo ID or artist or designer ID, so it's not required. It is nice if you want to have that link. This will automatically show up when you've added it to the GDCR, as it has for these few individuals here for Charles Ward as well. But you don't need it. You can see this user just links to their BGG user account and their GDCR person page. So we'll go ahead and create my person record. And go back to my user page. Now I see my person account is linked here. So now I can go ahead and finalize adding my game. So my game name, my demo game is Monsters versus Kids. I've got a file in there, so I'm going to link this as components available. There are 3 statuses. Idea phase is just, I've got an idea I'm working on, I want to talk about it, I want to get feedback, but I don't have anything for you to download and play yet. Components available means that there's a file that people can download and print the game themselves. And contest ready means the game is finalized, like you're not going to be making edits to it. It's ready to be submitted for voting. In this case, I'm going to say that I'm the designer and the artist. You can see how this appears on the page. This is designed by, and here's one that has with design and art by. So whatever you select for your game link will appear on that entry list. So we'll say that I'm the designer and the artist. We're going to put in a brief description. You you can put in a lot more than this. I'm just putting in a very brief sentence right now. There's a 3,000 character limit. Now, this is very important. This is the entry thread ID of our entry that we've put in. So here's the entry thread I've created for the game, and I'm going to take the thread ID right out of the URL up here and just copy it right into this box. Now, one thing to be careful of when you first submit a post is an article is an individual post within a thread. So when you first submit it, you're going to get this link to the article ID rather than the thread ID. So if that happens, just click on the subject in your thread and it will switch over to the thread ID. That's what the GDCR needs. And if you try to put in an article ID, you will get an error message. And then you'll notice in the entry list that there's a picture associated with most of these games. We're going to take this picture that we've uploaded. I just clicked on the picture to open it up in my personal gallery, and this ID number, you can either grab it out of the URL or from down here in the corner. We're going to add that as well. Now it'll show up into the entry list. I have not submitted this game to the Board Game Geek database. That's what this is for. We'll go ahead and leave that blank. If you did have one in, we'll open up Wingspan as an example. This ID that is given to the game when it's added and has a database page, this is what you would use for that. So if you had added it to the database, you could include that as well. And then we put in a little bit of information about the game. We'll just have a little make-believe here. Say this is 15 minutes to 30 minutes as our maximum playing time. There are 2 pages of components in this particular case, and it should take about 5 minutes to build. This is just good information for people when they're looking for a game. If it's a large project with tons of pages, that's going to take an hour to build, or if it's a very quick project, people can easily find what they're looking for. If you have low ink components available, for example, you have one file that is filled with artwork, filled with color, and another that's just black and white with not a lot of there's a lot of white space, so people can print it more easily without using a lot of ink. You can indicate that. And if the contest is using volunteer playtesters, which the 2019 9-card design contest is, you can say, yes, I would like volunteer playtesters to be assigned to my game. I will run through and make assignments for people who have volunteered to playtest other people's games. You can opt out, that's not a requirement, so if you didn't want people volunteer to test your game, just click on no, and then no one will be assigned to play your game. Lots of people can still find it and still play it, but no one will be assigned to play it. So then I add my game. I just click on that orange button and get this confirmation page. I can click on the link and see my game, and it is also tied to my user account. I've got Monsters vs. Kids under my current contest list, the link to the contest that it's been entered in, and I can go and edit the game again if I need to. Let's say I have some information that I need to change. I can click edit. For example, let's say it is now contest ready, and I'm going to put in a little bit more detail. The game is fun. Everything else can stay the same. We'll say it's now a 6-player game, for example, and we just click Save My Edits. And we can see that all that information has been updated on this page, and the next time this entry list refreshes, it does once a day, kind of in the middle of the night, all that information will be updated as well. Now, if it ever comes up that I need to withdraw my game, I can do that through this edit link. Once again, down at the bottom, I can say, yes, this game is withdrawn. I'll go ahead and leave that no for now. You could even switch that back later if you withdrew the game. We see now that the game is withdrawn. If I go to my user page, it's marked as withdrawn. but I can't come in here and edit it. I've changed my mind. I've had another good idea. So I'm going to say no, it is not withdrawn. And it's been updated as well. And it will always be updated when this script runs to populate the entries list with the latest information on that. So now our game is in the GDCR. We know how to make edits to it. And in the next video, we'll talk about how to add it to categories within the contest so that people can vote on it for specific categories that it has.